In Myanmar, at least 5 people are missing after a dam burst its banks, causing major flooding. On Wednesday, the Swa Chang Dam, located in central Myanmar, breached, releasing water into nearby towns and villages near the town of Swa. That's some 70 kilometers south of the capital, Naypyidaw. Authorities say 27 villages remain flooded. Search and rescue efforts are currently underway to reach thousands trapped in their homes. So far, more than 60,000 people have been forced out of their homes. Concerns are that more rainfall could place additional pressure on the dam and hamper recovery efforts. And to share his insights with us, joining me now is Edwin Vanderbruggen. He's a partner with VDB Loy, a leading legal advisory firm in Myanmar, and he joins us from Yangon. So, Edwin, if we were to analyze hydropower developments in Myanmar, it indicates the government's strong interest in building dozens of large hydropower dams. Why the rush, Edwin, and is there a pressing need for power?
There is a pressing need for power, Gerard. Currently, Myanmar only has about 3,000 megawatt that is actually being consumed. That covers barely 30% of the population. And that existing customers of the power grid, of the power network, they need additional consumption of about 15% per year. And that is without even expanding the grid. So the government plans to electrify Myanmar by 95% by 2030, and that requires a lot more generation.
All right, that seems like a positive aspect, Edwin, but we've seen, what happened in Laos and now Myanmar, Edwin. When these things happen, how detrimental are they to the community, especially villages?
Well, it is devastating, of course, and it is a real tragedy. It's very unfortunate. It's good to point out that Myanmar has improved its environmental standards and its thresholds, its expectations in connection with the social aspects of hydropower projects considerably in recent years. And this is actually the first time in the country that we have IPPs, that we have independent power producers that are interested to build power plants from France, from Norway, from Japan, from Austria. That hasn't happened before. So this is a level of a different kind of sponsor, different kind of investor, different kind of technology also, in addition to the legacy power plants that are often done with Chinese investors. So there's definitely a lot of changes here. But of course, you cannot just flip a switch and everything will be different. Yeah, the dam which now is involved in this strategy is one of the legacy problems that the country is coping with.
And so you talk about the legacy problems, Edwin. So what can the government do to mitigate any further problems?
Well, the government is improving its standards drastically. They have a new body of legislation, regulation. There's also increased cooperation, which we have never seen before in this country, between the private sector and the government. There's a hydropower developer working group, for example, that closely cooperates between developers and the government to improve the environmental and social standards of projects, including safety, gender issues, these kind of topics that we never discussed before in this country. So, but this is new. Yeah, it is not familiar territory for many of the government officials, and of course we have a new government with Aung San Suu Kyi, which is also new at the steering wheel. So these things, they take a little time, but we've seen so many changes here in this country, and so many for the better.
All right, Edwin Vanderbruggen, a partner with VDB Loy. Thank you.